AITA for leaving a family without childcare because the child called the police on me? I'm 25F, currently studying for a doctoral degree, and work on the side. I've been babysitting for this family for 2 years now, because they both work full-time and their children, Alice 4F and Ben 6M, only do half days at school. I'm good with kids. Alice and Ben like me a lot and their parents always tell me how excited they get for the days I babysit. The trouble is they recently had their nephew John, 15, to live with them as his parents were working in another city for a few weeks. Since he's 15, I let him do his own thing and told him I wouldn't breathe down his neck if he didn't want me to. Unfortunately, his pastime is bullying his cousins. If it was playful, I'd not have intervened so much. But the kids are so young and he would dip Alice's pigtails in paint, pants Ben in public, etc. It got to a point that their parents told me it was fine to punish him as they had authority from his parents to do so. So the next time he tried it and tried to put the poor girl's hand in warm water during nap time, I told him he would have to go to his room and stay there. He refuses and gets loud, and after a while threatens to call the police for child endangerment, saying, the exact quote, "They'll believe me over you." I thought he was just mouthing off and just sent him upstairs. Half an hour later, the police are ramming at the door, and through the window I saw that the cop by the car had his weapon out. I started having a panic attack, and the kids woke crying. The officers were verbally aggressive to me. Starting from when I opened the door, the officer by the car had his weapon pointed at me. I was terrified at this point. And if it makes a difference, I'm a dark-skinned Pakistani woman and the family was white. The dispute did get cleared in the end, as even though the officers didn't listen to me and kept barking at me to shut up, John casually admitted he was just pranking me because he knew the police would scare me. They scolded him lightly, but humiliatingly. One officer sat right next to me till the kid's dad got home. Of course, the family were furious at him, especially for giving the police my exact physical description even though I was the only adult in the house. They grounded him and took away his stuff, etc. But I was scared shitless at the incident, and told the family I could not look after A and B if John was there. As it stands, those poor kids were terrified of the police shouting in their living room. I offered to look after just them at my house. They immediately started to guilt-trip me and say they could not afford to take time off. Said I was an and threatened to fire me and not have me back post John. I know I left them in a tight spot and understand the younger kids did nothing wrong. But I cannot deal with that kid, and think his prank wasn't childish but really malicious. So, AITA? Edit. Sorry. Just to add this, as I think it's unfair to them if I leave it out. The reason they said no to me taking their kids to my place is because nobody would be looking after John, and his parents don't want that. I still maintain I'm qualified to look after young kids, not teenagers. So my point still remains, of course. NTA. I'm guessing his parents are happy with their time away from him. He sounds like a real treat. He didn't just endanger you. He endangered their children as well. I'm shocked they are upset with you for drawing this line. Do they not know how badly their very young children are being bullied? This could have a lasting effect on them. NTA. This was not just a prank. Calling the police in bad faith like that is very malicious. And sometimes it goes very wrong. False accusations have led to people being killed. Hold your ground on this one. Either you don't interact with John, or it's time to get a new job. NTA. Next time he could create a bigger lie. And you could get hurt. Or worse yet, killed. Thing like that happen when people intentionally call in false reports. Generally, they won't second guess a kid calling in to 911. You gave a reasonable option to have the kids at your place. Under no circumstances should you enter that house while John is there. You aren't expecting them to take time off. Just take the time to bring the kids to you. If they don't want to, then that's a them issue. Frankly, with the manipulation they are attempting and the lack of care they are showing for how scary and dangerous that was, I would be reluctant to babysit again. I don't know how much you charge, but generally childcare is in pretty high demand. I'm sure you can find other work where you aren't getting swat-ed. NTA. 15 years old is old enough to understand the consequences of what he did. He potentially put your life at risk as well as traumatizing you and his cousins. The parents should get rid of him immediately. NTA. That kid needs serious discipline and maybe even psychiatric help. What he did to you was not acceptable, and how terrifying. That could have ended very badly. I would not be returning either. NTA. Your nephew's idea of a prank is trying to have me arrested. I will not tolerate such disrespect from him, and will not allow you to jeopardize my safety by leaving me alone with such a monster again. Call their bluff and don't babysit for them ever again. NTA. Okay, we all agree him calling the police was completely a move. But the way the parents are acting now is a million times worse. The parents called you You think you're leaving them without childcare? No, you are not leaving them without childcare. You were trying to accommodate them and instead they turn on you? Get away from this family as quickly as possible. Make sure you keep records of this incident with the police, including the officers involved, and a copy of the incident report. God forbid this kid pulls any more crap. You want to be able to whip out a copy of the incident report and show that this is a habit. Good luck and focus on your studies. There are a million great families out there who would love to have a responsible babysitter who just happens to also be going to medical school. You do not need this family nor their drama. NTA. Honestly, the concept of prank has gotten way out of hand. NTA. I have two 15-year-olds, one of which is male, and I cannot imagine him ever going to this extreme. There is something very wrong with that kid. Run like hell and don't look back. Make the parents, all of them, realize what a shitty kid this is. Yay, fucked that whole shit stain of a family. NTA. Do not go back to the family. They aren't taking the severity of the issue seriously. That was seriously endangering your safety. Also, do they not think that the teenager is going to harm their children? Also, have you considered filing something regarding a false police report? That kid needs someone to teach him a lesson. NTA. Parents should be begging your forgiveness, instead of calling you NTA. Holy fuck, all the ways that could have gone terribly, tragically wrong. Refuse to have anything to do with them, even after John is no longer in the picture. Personally, I would never be able to trust that family again. OMG, do not ever sit for that family again. I can't believe they wouldn't take time off to help their children get over this horrible event. NTA, and I'm so sorry you had to go through that. NTA. Not worth giving up your safety for a job. NTA. That prank could have gotten you killed. I would not look after anyone either as long as that creep kid is there. The fact they don't care about your trauma makes me wonder how safe you are. How could you think YTA? You're NTA. NTA. That was intentionally malicious. He did it with the intent to terrorize you. And he damn well is old enough to know better. You offered a reasonable alternative that you would watch the two young ones at your house. If they don't like it, it's their business to find alternative childcare. NTA. But I would be suing them with a side call to explain to CPS what happened and how he had been torturing the younger kids. When you explain about the armed policeman and how terrified the younger children were, there will be words, and they should put the family on a watch list for surprise inspections. NTA. Get out while you can. No job in the world is worth your sanity.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic AITA is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.